I could hear them, I would soon be able to visualize them, and my mind would be filled with images of Fifth Avenue blanketed in snow, and children bundled in Eddie Bauer parkas as they frolicked across the street to Central Park. All of which would mean that I was ignoring my patient, one of the few still paying me $175 non-HMO cash dollars for 50 minutes of my attention. The patient left. And once again, I felt a familiar pain across my shoulders. When was I going to get back to yoga? I've been asking myself that same question for well over a year. I was 42 years old and suffering from terminal stiffness. On the advice of a patient, talk about crazy, I had sunk all my capital into hedge funds, which had allowed me to purchase a fashionable two-bedroom co-op in Carnegie Hill. But when the aforementioned funds were revealed to be part of an even larger portfolio connected to the dreaded Bernie Madoff, a downward spiral began, which sent my bank account, my marriage, and my practice into freefall. I walked toward the leaded glass window, and as I had feared, became entranced by the snow as it continued to drift down on the park. For a moment, I flashed back to my childhood in Evanston, Illinois, and a recurring memory of a girl on a toboggan. What was her name? And why was she haunting me so? She sat behind me, clutching my waist tightly as we sped down the hill. She said, "This is such fun, Harry. Isn't it fun? I wish we could last forever." She had hot chocolate on her breath and icicles in her hair. Had I really turned around and kissed her on the lips? Or only wished I had? She was Donna Schumann's cousin from Syracuse and had come to visit over the Christmas holidays. I was 12 years old and never saw her again, but the memory of her smiling face had remained with me. That brief moment of intimacy was a revelation. The love I had heard sung about in songs and depicted in old black and white movies truly existed.
Dr. Strider, Harris Strider, I'm Sherman Rosenbaum.
Are you a patient? I don't
Dr.
recall.
Weisenglass, ever have offices here? One senses a certain deja vu.
Wine glass.
Dr. Irving Weinglass, one of the top endocrinologists in the city. Went to high school together. Erasmus, we were but boys at Ebbetsfield. The great Pee Wee Reese came to my bar mitzvah. Oh, the Dodger stories one could tell you. Did all right for myself. Land development, can't complain. Built a few malls out on the island. Retired now. My wife said she didn't want to be the richest widow in Bellport. But one still keeps one hand in consulting. You know, last year in France, they made me a Chevalier du Tastevin. You know what that is?
I know that if we ever go to dinner, I'm going to let you order the wine.
Admirable erudition, Doctor. Clearly I came to the right man. Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not. Is that a problem?
No, if it isn't for you. How old are you, Doctor?
Mr. Rosenbaum, I can't see why my age or religious affiliation has anything to do with your problem. Although, frankly, you don't strike me as a sort who has any problems.
I don't. It's my nephew, Gordon Jacobs, my sister's son. Remarkable boy, handsome, superb athlete, shoulders. Top 10 in his class at Princeton Law.
What exactly is Gordon's problem?
His fiancée, Barbara Warren.
You came to see me about your nephew's fiancée.
No, don't get me wrong, Doctor. Barbara's a beautiful girl, went to Hampshire College, comes from a well-to-do New Jersey family. She'd make your head spin.
What exactly is the problem with Barbara?
She has episodes.
Episodes?
Mental episodes.
I mean, seizures, epilepsy?
No. Like fits. I know that term is no longer fashionable, but there's no other way to describe it. Out of nowhere, with no warning, the girl becomes unhinged, says crazy things, dances around, you know.
No, I don't know, Mr. Rosenbaum, but I cannot...
Call me Sherman.
Mr. Rosenbaum, have you personally witnessed one of these episodes?
Not personally, per se, but Gordon has a video he can show you. The boy and I are very close. His father died when he was 12, and I stepped up to the plate as a surrogate. My wife and I have no children, so this has been a fulfilling experience for me. Without falling prey to the emotional pitfalls parenthood might otherwise have.
Mr. Roosevelt, who referred you to me?
Jack Dorfman said you're brilliant.
Oh, well, that was very kind of Dr. Dorfman. I'm flattered, truly. But what you're suggesting...
The wedding. They're planning a big wedding. Booked the Primrose Club and Tenafly, 600 people, 40-piece orchestra, the whole schmear. My little sister's biting her nails right down to the bowl. Understandably, there will be all these people, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump, relatives coming from San Francisco, Hawaii even. We're talking about a big wedding, Doctor.
600 people.
Exactly. Exactly. We're in sync. And my little sister's been having second thoughts about her son marrying a girl who might be nuts. There's a lot of presents to send back. Si tu comprends, cher docteur.
But what do you want me to do? I mean, what do you think that I can do? I mean, you're under some kind of misconception.
I want you to get together with Gordon. He's he has a very busy calendar, but I know you'll make yourself available to you for something as serious as this. Get him to show you the video of the fit, whatever fancy name you doctors call it now. Meet Barbara, and once you've sussed her out for yourself...
No, absolutely not. What you're suggesting, Mr. Roosevelt, is wholly unethical.
Relax. Doctor, relax. It was merely an idea. One must try everything in a crisis. How old did you say you are?
I didn't. 42.
Really? Really? Who would have guessed? Tell you what. You're a man who appreciates good wine. Let me take you to lunch tomorrow for your trouble.
No, really, there's no need to do
Le
that.
Trois Moulins.
It's an excellent restaurant.
My treat. Shall we say noon? Why don't I ask Gordon to join us? Don't forget to send me the bill.
Don't worry.
I never do.
Chairman Roosevelt deceived me. He never turned up at lunch. Instead, Barbara Warren arrived to surprise Gordon. She was probably in her early 20s, but heavy makeup and heavier jewelry added a decade to her appearance.
Honest to God, Gordon, my day has been a total horror. Total. The cross-eyed wedding planner is driving me crazy. My bad. Napkins. Whoever thought napkins would... And your mother, Gordo. I love her to bits, but her seating demands are like straight from the Magic Kingdom. She's got those cousins of yours from St. Louis sitting at table 2. Donald Trump is at table 2.
Someone was both lying to me and wasting my time. From what I can see, based on this briefest of encounters, she and Gordon were perfect for each other. Well-coiffed bride matching the well-built groom, and a cuckoo clock of narcissism that would be their marriage for some years to come. I went from there to the health club for some racquetball with a friend and mentor, Martin Corwin.
Chevalier de taste of vin, huh? How'd you keep a straight face?
I've got to get home, Marty. Claire has this promptness thing, which I promise to respect.
As board-certified psychiatrists, Harry, we've been taught to recognize such things as neurosis.
Now that's not fair, Marty. Claire is very fond of you.
Listen, Harry, are you sure you're not more a little bit of the Hebrew than you let on? A very Jewish thing, you know, to attempt to make me feel guilty like that.
Well, Marty is conveying how my wife feels about you, remotely connected to guilt.
You call yourself a therapist, huh?
I stopped off at Bloomingdale's to buy a little gift for Claire. Marty had rattled me with his comments. When I arrived at the store, there was a crowd who had gathered to watch a teenage girl singing and dancing round and round. To my embarrassment, the girl locked eyes with me and stopped singing. She advanced towards me, smiling, all the while. I felt as if I were the only person in the world she wanted to see. Indeed, as if I were the only person in the world she could see. Taking hold of my hand, she attempted to pull me into the circle with her. Only then did I realize, what, as incredible as it seemed, that this dancing girl was, in fact, Barbara Warren. My face must have registered a shock or disbelief, because she burst out laughing, released her grip of me, and then began spinning faster and faster, until finally she collapsed on the floor in a heap. took her back to my office.
Where am I? Who are you? Why is it so dark in here?
I'm Harris Strider. We had lunch together earlier this afternoon with Gordon, remember? You're in my office on Fifth Avenue.
How did I get here? What's going on?
Well, I brought you here in a cab after you collapsed. You don't remember what happened in Bloomingdale's?
What are you talking about?
Apparently you experienced another one of your episodes. See, I'm a doctor. It was just a coincidence that I was there when you happened to...
I don't have fits. No matter what the great Sherman Rosenbaum says.
No one said that you did, but I did witness you behaving in an eccentric manner. You were singing and dancing in a public place. You don't have any recollection of that?
Singing and dancing at Bloomie's?
Yeah.
Like I don't think so.
Well, apparently this is not the first time this has happened.
It didn't happen, okay? Bloomingdale's or anywhere else.
Who's Shimon?
What?
Well, on the ride over here, you called out for Shimon. Who is that? It sounded like someone very important to you. There was an urgency to your voice. It was as if you were desperately wanting him back, to come back. Where did Shimon go? Who is he?
Look, doctor, I don't know why you were having lunch with Gordon. I've got my suspicions, okay? But I want you and everyone else to leave me the fuck alone. There's nothing wrong with me. Nothing!
All right. This is all usable material.
Is she pretty?
What does that have to do with anything?
It has to do with the fact that in 5 years of marriage, plus 18 months of living together, you have never discussed one of your patients with me ever.
That can't be.
Oh yes, it can be. You wrote the law and you created a Pandora's box for our marriage, Harris. I cannot and will not discuss my patients. I will not violate their trust in me, even to my wife.
Well, in all fairness, this girl isn't really my patient. Not technically. She's more of an anecdote. That's it. She's an anecdote who collapsed in Bloomingdale's. How's the weaving going?
It isn't. I don't think New York and I are meant for each other.
New York being a metaphor for me.
Why does everything have to be about you, Harris?
Let's go dancing. We never go dancing anymore.
We never went dancing at all.
In Jamaica, remember, on our honeymoon?
Once.
There's an Iowa con, a special chip on the shoulder attitude.
What is it? What's that song?
I was saying,
Yeah, you were. You know you were. Iowa Star.
Iowa what?
From the Music Man. You were singing it purposely to get my goat. You know, you always do that when we're in a fight.
Whoa. Wait a minute, who said we were fighting? There's no need to go code red here. We're having a civilized discussion at the simplest of conversation.
This is not a conversation. Don't insult my intelligence.
Is it a baby? Does she want to have a baby? Is that it? We never talked about children. Surely people have talked about these things to make them happy. It can't be just telepathy or suppressed anger that propels a husband and wife towards the bed with a child's creation as the miracle solution to their problems. What are you talking about, Claire? Is this all about the song? I truly had no idea I was singing aloud.
Bullshit! You know how much I hate that song. You sing it on purpose to make fun of me, to punish me.
Claire, that's ridiculous. You're behaving like an irrational child.
Oh, thank you, dear husband. Thank you so much for your loyal vote of support. God, I must have been crazy to marry a psychiatrist.
What, are you going to go to sleep now? For God's sake, Claire, it's only 8:30.
We go to bed early in Iowa. Remember? There are cows to be milked, and the North 40 needs plowing as if, yes, you never cease to remind me.
I woke in the middle of the night to a ringing telephone.
Who the hell is that?
Dr. Strider, this is Barbara Warren. I have to see you right away. I just had the most horrible nightmare.
Wait, what time is it?
3:45.
Please, honey, go back to sleep.
Can't. I'm afraid to sleep.
Let's talk about this tomorrow.
What time?
I don't know, my appointment book isn't, look, call my office in the morning, we'll schedule something. We'll see what's available. Good night.
Was that her?
Oh,
The anecdote.
go back to sleep, Claire.
Why did she phone here in the middle of the night?
Claire, please, I'm begging you, go back to sleep.
Can't you refer to this woman? Can't you refer this woman to someone else?
She's not my patient.
Then why did she phone you? How did she get your number if you're not?
I'm listed in the phone book, Claire, like everyone else. And you can find me on the internet. No one has any privacy anymore.
She's obviously a nut. What's so funny?
Most of my patients are.
Then she is your patient.
No, she's not. And tomorrow I will refer her to someone else, okay? Will that make you happy? Tell me that'll make you happy.
Believe it or not, Harris, I'm thinking of you, not me. I have a strange feeling about this woman.
It started in November.
What did?
Gordon and I went skiing in Vermont. We totally love Vermont. What a rush. And I wanted to race with Gordon, and he